Greetings. You have your ticket? You don't have it? No problem, my friend. Just hit the subscription button below. Come on in. Hello, everyone. DFG Gideon's Flight here. Hey, guys, I just want to take a few minutes and just update you on a couple of very important things going on. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, and some of you may not give a damn. We know how that works, right? But if you give me about 10 minutes of your time, I'll get through this really fast because I do think that the information that I'm going to share is relevant, and I think it has its proper place in terms of things that we need to be thinking about as it relates to things that are going on around us. Again, relevant. First thing I want to talk a little bit about is the state of emergency from yesterday. As you know, President Trump decided to declare state of emergency. And as you guys know, because he, according to Trump, didn't get the funds that he needed to, according to him, secure our borders. And understanding what that gives him, the latitude that gives to the President of the United States, is that now because he declared a state of emergency, he can move resources from other departments to, the border, and use those resources as he sees fit in terms of, constructing, building the wall, to protect the country, and to ensure that, the country is safe. And that is the power that is given to the President of the United States if he deems that the country is at risk in any kind of serious way. Now, why that? Many people have different opinions about that. Myself, in terms of, how I feel about it, I don't really have any true feeling one way or the other. I will say this: when you start hearing, presidents declare state of emergencies and exercising resources to support that, then just remember it is a Pandora's box, and they can go and declare state once the demon, for lack of a better word, is out of that box. You can't put that demon. I guess I really want to say genie. Once that genie is out of the box, you can't put that genie back into the box, or out of the bottle. You can't put that genie back into the bottle. And so if the president decided that he wanted to declare a state of emergency to take your guns, you know what I'm saying? Then, because he sees it as an existential threat, to the betterment of the country, that people have guns, citizens have guns, then, he can declare a state of emergency. And at that point, he can empower the military on behalf of the president to go home to home, and take guns, for an example, in a perceived state of emergency based off of what the president believes versus what the general population believes. So that's the scary part about it. In essence, your vote, your opinion, your rights as a citizen are abdicated, and when the president declares that. So to me, that's the genie out of the bottle that you need to be thinking about. And again, I don't say this to mix the issue here. I'm not trying to use the border to leverage, people taking, guns, or the country taking guns. They're two separate issues, but they're one and the same in terms of the power and authority that the president has anytime he decides to declare a state of emergency. All right. So you just need to know that, and don't think for one second that the government won't take your guns, because if you, being a native Louisianian and a native New Orleanian, they were taking guns right after Katrina. They were breaking in the house, knocking down doors. If you're in the home, coming in your home, and they were confiscating guns. Okay, so that's all I'll say about that. The next thing is that in terms of what's going on with Venezuela, the situation there, and back to your government. You heard me talk before about, does the government truly represent you and I? Well, let me give you a 2-minute video. I'm sorry, I know you hate me. Well, you hate that I do this. I even hate doing it, but it's the best resources of the limited resources that I have to be able to share information with you. And sometimes, other videos are great tools to better express a point of view that I'm trying to share. Not maybe. So I want you to take a listen to this. Again, now this is going to be Venezuela back around 2013. You're going to hear some commentary. You're going to hear, at that particular time, the President of the United States, of Venezuela talking, who was Hugo Chavez. And then what you're going to also hear is Dick Cheney, the Vice President of the United States, going to make a comment. And then I'm going to come right back to you. 2 minutes. Thank you. Ready? Let's see if I can get this right, guys.
It says no country has a right to go its own way unless that way coincides with the interests of the United States. For empires have nothing to do with freedom. They're vicious. They're about conquest and theft and control and secrets. Since 1945, the United States has attempted to overthrow 50 governments, many of them democracies. In the process, 30 countries have been attacked and bombed, causing the loss of countless lives.
Obama came on attacking me, but that does not surprise us because that is the voice of imperialism. Obama, mind your own business and devote yourself to rule your country, which you have turned into a disaster.
Chavez warned that President Obama is attacking Venezuela and called him irresponsible and fake.
I am sorry for you, Obama. Ask the black communities and the poor of your country what you mean to them. The biggest frustration. Ask many people in Africa who may have believed in you because of your skin color, because your father was African. You are an African descent, but you are the shame of all those people. Leave us alone.
The surge has worked. That's been a major success.
2/3 of Americans say it's not worth fighting.
So?
2/3 of Americans say it's not worth fighting.
So?
So you don't care what the American people think?
No, I think you cannot be.
I'm going to stop it right there. Now you heard him say that, right? And if you guys watched the earlier video of mine, this was last year, late last year, Lindsey Graham will ask similar questions about things related to Trump, and I think it might have been related to the wall. And when the interviewer asked Lindsey Graham, South Carolina senator, about, well, what about what the people? How are the people going? What do you think the people are going to feel about that? How would the people feel about that? You know what Lindsey Graham's response was? I don't give a shit. That's what he said. He said, I don't give a shit what the people think. You follow me? So you got Lindsey Graham saying, I don't give a shit. You got Dick Cheney, Vice President of the United States, when it says, well, what if 2/3 of the people don't agree with you going into Iraq? His answer was, so. So you really think that you matter? Do you really think it's in your best interest to be supporting a government that does not give a shit about you and what you think? Now, those are two small examples. I realize, that's a very small snapshot. But I'm telling you guys, all you have to do is look at their behavior. There's a saying that I can't believe what you say because I see what you do. And when you start to look in terms of the things that are happening around the country, around the world, then it's hard for you to step back. It should be very difficult for you to step back and not critically analyze what the hell is really going on. I'll take example again. Let's go back to Venezuela. It's interesting that this was back in 2013 that America was getting involved with Venezuela's resources and the way that country was being ran. You ever asked and now here it is in 2019, the same thing is going on with Maduro. You ever ask yourself the question, why would America give a shit about what's going on in Venezuela? Well, let me tell you why. All right? The number one petroleum oil resource reserve in the entire world, guess where it is? Yeah, you guessed right. Venezuela. The second largest oil reserve in the world is Saudi Arabia. Some of you probably didn't know that. The third largest oil reserve is Canada. I'm sure some of you didn't know that. And then the fourth largest oil reserve in the world is, guess where? Iran. How ironic right now that we are going after Iran, saying that, there's a hostile government that kills its people. Same shit we heard about Iraq. This is what Dick Cheney was talking about. When he said the people didn't want us to go into Iraq, his attitude was so. Because of that, 500,000 children were killed And Madeleine Albright, who was the Secretary of State at that time, when asked how did she feel about 500,000 kids getting killed in Iraq, she said it was worth it. It was worth them getting killed for us to go into Iraq, which has the 5th largest oil reserve in the world. Venezuela number 1, Saudi Arabia number 2, Canada number 3. Notice we didn't do anything to Canada. Wonder if that's got something to do with melanin. Number 4, Iran, and number 5, Iraq. And our oil reserves in the United States is running dry. We're number 10 in the world right now. Okay? So I bring that to your attention so that you understand what this is all about. The politics is of diversionary tactics. So when you start, even with the wall, and I may seem like I'm all over the place here, and forgive me, I'll try to keep this tight. But that border wall, that distraction of the border wall, everybody's looking over there. Or talking about the Russia gate, everybody's looking over here. But what nobody's really seeing is what's going on right in front of our eyes. You heard this guy earlier said that the United States has been involved in 50 coups or 50 upstaging or being part of undermining governments around the world. All right? 50 times that the United States has been involved in that in the last 50 years. And yet we're talking about Russia getting involved in our elections? Let's see now. We are offended that Russia supposedly got involved in our election, but we have on 50 other occasions got involved in other countries' elections, as we're doing currently right now in Venezuela, overthrowing or supporting a military or coup to overthrow that country's government, their rightfully elected president, Maduro. And we're right now participating in overthrowing that man. Now you tell me that's not a case of the pot calling the kettle black. Think about it. How arrogant, the audacity. And then you wonder why around the world, the Middle East and many other places, you hear them chant, we hate America. America is Satan. And America is evil and wicked. I'm telling you people, they're not saying this without a cause. They're not saying that without a cause. And our government, no fault of our own, is taking it upon itself to go into these countries, destabilize these countries through sanctions, government coups, military invasions, and then, come back and say, oh, we did it all in the name of democracy. But at the end of the day, you follow me? The Venezuelan people are the biggest losses of the people of Iraq and some of these other countries. Because as you heard Mike Pompeo say, you follow me? And you ought that it's in the best interest of American petroleum businesses for us to go into Venezuela. For petroleum business. Oh yeah, you'll benefit. Your gas price will come down, 10 cents a gallon. But the owners of Exxon, Halliburton, Chevron, they're going to be filthy rich through robbery, skullduggery, and flat out viciousness, which puts all of us in danger. Because when these countries, want to retaliate or get behind, these terrorist groups, you follow me, and start to perform these hateful acts against us as we travel abroad and even eventually come home, then we'll understand this whole saying that when the chickens come home to roost. And when the chickens come home to roost simply means you reap what you sow. So this is what I say. This is a short, longer than I anticipated. I hope you're able to get a little bit from this. Nothing else. I just want you to think about what's going on. Your government got you looking this way when they're over there undermining us the other way. And at the end of the day, they don't give a damn about you and I. So all this forever Trump and all this forever Hillary, guys, it's for little leaguers. You're big league. We should be major leaguers. That's little league stuff they're pushing, and we're buying into it. Hook and sinker, or biting into it. Hook and sinker. We got to think. We got to talk. Got to keep listening. Hope you come back. Got more fight. DFG, thanks again, guys. Have a great day. Bye now.